Christmas is just around the corner, and you're thinking to yourself, hey, it's time for me to get a phone upgrade. And you're scrolling, and you spot the ROG Phone 8 Pro. And you must be wondering, what's it like to have the king of gaming smartphones as a daily driver for the long term? Lucky you, I spent the past 8 weeks or so with this bad boy, and I'll tell you the lowdown so you know if the ROG Phone 8 Pro is for you. I'm a professional shoutcaster, and mobile gaming is a 24/7 thing. So I look at plenty of screens, and I would know what's good and what's great. Now, the ROG Phone 8's 6.78-inch, 165Hz AMOLED screen, that's great. Safe to say sometimes I lose myself in the games I play, the content I'm consuming. And even when I'm doing simple tasks, such as scrolling for socials, going into the lab, studying heroes, or grinding my ranked games, those things just get elevated because of that beautiful screen. And then, when I end up on a lose streak, or when I get burnt out, because best believe that does happen even if this is a dream job, I go ahead and play my other games, which is this time for fun. And even with all the settings turned up, and after everything I've done on the phone, and I really do try to stretch out that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, the 5500 milliamp hour battery does not give up on me. Not even after hours into my day. Yes, it is a smaller battery compared to previous generations, but I'll tell you, you really wouldn't notice. Because I'll tell you now, I didn't. If anything, I actually understand why that is. It's because the phone is so much sleeker now. They shrank that battery size to make up for that new body design, and it's well worth it. Some of you might remember the old generation of ROG phones, which I have covered on this channel as well. You know what I'm talking about. Big, bold, loud, 110% hardcore gamer aesthetic. You know when people look at your phone, they know it's a gaming phone? Well, this time around, ROG decided to stealth it up. Give it smaller bezels, an almost invisible punch hole, sleeker design overall, brushed finish, the Pro only coming in black. But here's the thing, they actually kept all the important parts. Talking the air triggers, I'm talking that headphone jack, I'm talking that USB-C slot on the side for when you're charging when it's game time. And of course, the Anime Vision, which adds 100% of swag points, which is, as most gamers know, is essential. Safe to say, I'm in love with the whole redesign, mostly, except for one bit. Let me share with you now. Since they did shrink the bezels, and that does look great, they had to move the speakers to the sides. And they do sound great, don't get me wrong. Again, I get lost in the content, I get lost in my games. When I do hold my phone, and I do need to get a grip on it to hit those air triggers, or when things get a little sweaty, I end up covering the sides, which muffles the sound. This wasn't a thing in the older generations of the ROG phone, and it might just be me and the way I hold it, but makes me sometimes miss those thicker bezels. Although that is not a deal breaker, for the most part, it's just something I've noticed in my specific use. Speaking of use, I have tended to use the ROG Phone 8 Pro more as a daily driver because of its camera. I've been using the ROG Phone 8 Pro's camera more often since it has been significantly upgraded. It's got a 50 megapixel main shooter, a 3x telephoto lens, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide. Actually, you be the judge for yourselves. Here are some shots I took while I was out in Riyadh and Almaty and just around town over the past couple of months. Awesome, right? Oh, and by the way, while I was out walking in Almaty, a couple of times it rained. It was more beautiful when I was able to play Marvel Snap while walking around the old, beautiful city. And boy, oh boy, that was memorable. And that's because the ROG Phone 8 is now IP68 dust and water resistant. That's right, you wouldn't have to worry about little splishies and splashies, leaving your phone on the table while there's drinks around. You know that your phone is gonna be safe. As a gaming phone that's evolved to be integrated more into our daily lives, besides in just gaming, I love what they've done with the current generation in the ROG Phone 8 Pro. I didn't think it was possible with the sleek design and muting all of the well-known gamer aesthetics to still appeal to the hardcore gamer in me. Thought I'd miss it, but there's no turning back, and I'm here to stay. With that said, the ROG Phone is for me. Always has been for more than half a decade now. The question is, do you have the budget? If you do, well, there's no better choice. This is the king of gaming smartphones, the ROG Phone 8 Pro. Great cameras, solid build, sleek aesthetic, and of course, a gaming experience that no one can match. Let me know what you think if you have the ROG Phone 8, the ROG Phone 8 Pro, or if you're still thinking twice about that upgrade. Let me know if you have comments and questions down below. Peace.